Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of SimplyPodLogical, a simply neological podcast.
Guess who's back? Back again.
You do that at like the start of every podcast.
Always in my brain since I was a child.
It has been a minute since we've been back. Where have we been?
It's been 2 weeks since we've been on here.
It's going to be one of those.
It's going to be one of those. I'm just doing icebreakers. I'm just singing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we've been gone for 2 weeks. Yes, but don't worry. We're back. And
I was really worried.
I was talking to you, Ben.
I will say that in North Carolina, we were just in Raleigh.
Raleigh, like sleigh.
Sleigh all day. So we were there visiting Safiya, Tyler, filming on a nail polish truck.
Yes, because Holo Taco is collabing with my bestie Safiya in September. Okay. Has been announced, but I'm just going to announce it again in case you missed it. So we drove around in a nail polish truck, in part to film a video for the release, which is in September. But yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I had a lot of people come up to me and go, "Hey, I really enjoyed the podcast. Thank you for doing the podcast." And it made me feel like, I guess we can't just stop the podcast.
There was actually a few people when they came up to the truck. Yeah, so they were telling you that too when you were walking around in line? Yeah. Shout out to those people who we met in North Carolina. That's super cool to like see people in real life, you know? They hear us on the internet and then they saw us in real life and then they're like, "Oh my God, you're real."
They do hear us on the internet. Yeah, we're very appreciative of people who came out, and there were more people there than we thought were going to be there, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Although we had a lot of nail polish. We gave out over 1,000 bottles of nail polish. Mm-hmm.
And that was one of Safiya's upcoming shades from her collection. It was called Feeling Fiendish. So yeah, we had a small pre-production amount made just to give away for free with the truck. So that was super fun for some people to get that.
It was great meeting people, and then Safiya and Cristine helped me buy some clothes the next day.
Yes. Dump him. Oat milk. Love it. Looks great. What do we think of Ben's new fit, guys?
It's my OOTD.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a little weird that I'm wearing a hat that says dump him, though?
But you know where that's from, right?
No.
It's from Britney Spears.
It's from Britney Spears?
Maybe people don't know this, but like in the 2000s, she wore a shirt that just said dump him as she was like walking down the street with her coffee. And it was just kind of iconic. Like, people just...
Is that iconic?
Yeah, and it was in block text orange letters, if I recall correctly. So I think, but like I don't know for sure, that's why this hat was made today in Urban Outfitters. Maybe not.
As a
Hello?
Hello? As a heterosexual man walking around with this hat, though, I do feel a little like I'm a little bit of a scumbag wearing it. Uh-huh. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like... I'm walking up to random women and telling them to dump their boyfriend. It's kind of giving that energy, you know?
Or it's just funny because people know that Britney shirt and it's just kind of funny. Like, I should wear that hat.
I don't think people know the Britney Spears
They don't?
reference.
Okay, comment down below. I need to know how many people know it's from that how many people are actually, like, offended because they don't know that and they just
I don't know
think
who's
you're weird.
offended, but I guess if you're comfortable with it, that's the main thing. It does seem like I'm just flirting with random people, though, just by wearing a hat, no?
Yeah, but words like that don't have to mean that. Like, I feel like...
Words have meaning?
Yeah, but not that necessarily. Like, that's just kind of a silly joke. I don't think it necessarily means you're a dick, unless you accompany it with asshole behavior.
But it invites this, like, every woman who sees me now is like, maybe I should dump my boyfriend.
Right. Yes. You're not wrong.
And is the implication
totally,
they should date
guys?
me?
Yes. I'm sure that every woman walking by you will see your hat and actually could reconsider their relationship as a result of looking at your hat.
In just a little way, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
It'll definitely happen.
Definitely.
I like the oat milk shirt, though. Thank you.
Me too.
Christine also bought some clothes.
Safiya
was just like your personal shopper.
She was. We didn't even make a video out of it. She just helped me buy some jeans, which I was so happy because the baggy, like wide flare, but not bell bottom, just like wide leg jean is back. And so are cargo pants. And that's all I owned when I was a teenager. So I walked into Urban Outfitters and everything except for the crop tops was like my style from 15 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, this is my closet.
So,
So I bought 5 pairs of
giant
pants.
jeans are back.
Yeah. Giant jeans with, I didn't see any there, but I was hopeful. Giant jeans with like flame patches. Do you remember
Flame
that?
patches?
Yeah. Or like skulls or something. Do you remember
You would
flame
want to wear that
patches?
now
Yes.
as a 34-year-old lady, yeah?
I know I have nowhere to wear them, but I just want them. Because they remind me of my nails, which I just painted because the Fire and Ice bundle by Holo Taco was just released. And it's 3 new iridescent shimmers and 2 crowns. We have Hot Take and Cold Slate, which Ben is also wearing. Ben, which one is your favorite?
Hot Take.
Of course.
Actually, it's Cold Slate.
No. Isn't it Hot Take?
No.
We literally named that for you.
I like the name Hot Take.
Yeah, we know. That's what it's for. It was for Ben.
No.
But I did these really cool fire nails on my nails, and they remind me of that kind of 90s Hot Wheels Janko jeans with flame patches.
Janko jeans.
Yeah. JNCO. Do you remember Janko jeans? No? Okay. Maybe
My
Ben was not a
parents
style
didn't
icon.
buy me jeans until like the end of high school.
What did you wear?
Just sweatpants.
Okay.
Got some cargo
pants? Yeah. I love cargo
Hand-me-downs.
pants.
My parents were like, "Oh, spending money on clothes. Who cares about the style and what's in fashion?"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I'd fake these.
I'm a teenager. This is all
that
people care
matters.
about.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can buy yourself some flame jeans now. Or you can buy yourself the Holo Taco Fire and Ice bundle, which is available now at holotaco.com.
You know what it and your nails remind me of?
What?
Guy Fieri's trash can nachos.
The nachos or just Guy Fieri's clothes?
All of it.
Okay.
I think he should give you the key to Flavortown.
What would I do with it?
Unlock all the secrets.
I can't keep a secret.
You can't?
No, I just tell everyone everything, right?
Oh, yeah, you are bad at that.
I'm a bad detective.
Don't tell Cristine your secrets.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where we were the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We haven't done a podcast in a while. We missed you guys. And it was very nice seeing some of you in real life. And in some cases, like recognizing names of people from YouTube or Discord or whatever. And then like putting a face to the name. It's different, you know? I was surprised how okay people were. You know, I think like you and us and these people, I kind of think of as people who are very comfortable being in online communities. So there's always like, how comfortable are people being in like a real life setting, you know?
Yeah, and also the people who choose to go to a public meet and greet is a little bit more of a self-selected population because you're less likely to have people who would just like never want to be in that situation.
That's a good
in the
point.
first place, right? So it is. I'm not saying everyone who went is an extrovert. I don't mean that either. But just like it's gonna skew a little bit more towards people who don't mind as much going. But although I do know some people, like, you know, it wasn't their favorite activity to do, but they really wanted to see us. So thank you to those people who went out of their way to come see us.
Yeah. So I know like we thought a lot about like wanting to make sure people had a good time. I hope they did. And like, I think in that setting of like meet and greet kind of setting, it's hard to like, you really want someone to feel like they had a good experience there. But like they might just have like 10 to 20 seconds of interaction with you because there's like a line of people who want to meet you and Saf, or like Tyler and I would go down the line and just like try to talk to people so they weren't just like sitting there in the hot sun waiting.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like think like, how could I give someone I don't know. I felt a lot of pressure to be like, I want people to have a good time, but like this 10 to 15 second interaction will define their whole experience of this event. Whereas for me, it's like the 12-hour day of like everything collectively. You know what I mean? It's hard to think like how you have like a real human interaction in just a few seconds.
Yeah, totally. Because we were there for the whole day, but you're right. People were standing in line for a few hours. But then it was like we had 20 seconds to talk to them because we wanted to make sure that as many people as possible could, have a conversation with us. But yeah, there was a lot of people when they first came up who didn't know what to say and like literally said, I don't know what to say. And it made me think about like their experience because when they've been waiting for so long, you kind of psych yourself up, and then it's like, wait, now I'm here. What do I say, right? And same with me. I felt that too sometimes. I'm just like, well, what do I say? Do you want a nail polish?
Yeah.
It was really great meeting people, but as someone who's not the best at meeting people, just like generally in my life, I do empathize with the person who would come up and be like, I don't know what to say. I would respond to them. I'd be like, me neither.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Let me see your nails.
Yeah. At least in this context, we knew there's like everyone has a bit of a shared interest in whether it's you, Saf, or nail polish, right? Yeah. So I felt like there was at least that common ground there. But yeah, it's hard just to have a conversation with someone. With
someone that you've never spoken to in real life before.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's not the same, but you know when you meet a stranger and you're like forced to talk to them because like maybe it's work and you're meeting someone and it's like always weird because you don't know where to begin. But then there's like this new era of weird interactions where you feel like you maybe know someone because you've talked to them online. And I don't just mean maybe like an icon that you follow on social media, but I mean even like people you've met in a Facebook group or in a Discord and you've only ever talked to them online, but you've become friends and then you meet in real life. It can feel very weird and different and like you don't know what to say because you also you have no idea how they behave with their like words in real life, and it can feel very intimidating to finally talk to someone in real life.
Yeah, so I thought maybe today we'll just like practice having conversations, icebreakers.
I need practice. I realized that after last weekend. I was like, I should have taken a course.
So I was looking at some websites this morning that are like, here's like how to start a conversation with someone.
Do tell.
And I'm not gonna lie, there's a little bit of gray area. Some of them are just like, I want to get to know you. Some of them are a little. They assume you want to date the person. Gets a little flirty.
Are they wearing a dump him hat? That's a good icebreaker.
Yeah. Where'd you get that hat? Urban Outfitters.
Outfitters.
Oh, I thought it was Outfooters.
Who said that?
It sounds better.
It sounds like a hiking store, which Urban Outfitters is not a hiking
store. Do you like shopping for clothes?
No.
No?
But I did
Why not?
Because I needed cool pants for the next time I do a meet and greet. I was like, why did I buy these?
What do you not like? Here, that I'm showing people how to have a conversation. What do you not like about shopping for clothes?
Why would you ask me negative things in a conversation?
No, I'm just curious.
Trying things on is annoying.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like shopping for clothes either.
How do you shop for clothes?
Well, sometimes I just buy stuff online.
Where do you shop?
I don't know.
No, literally nowhere. He doesn't shop.
I don't buy clothes.
I just don't buy clothes.
Cristine and Safiya buy me clothes sometimes.
Right. Yeah, we did buy.
You know what I'll do if I'm ever out and I'm buying clothes? I won't try it on.
I know it's a problem.
I go home and it's just like it's like the lottery.
Fit.
It's the lottery. Maybe it'll fit, maybe it won't. I don't know.
This is so bad. When we used to go to Florida like years ago, you would buy clothes without trying them on, and I'd be like, Ben, please, I'm begging you, just try on this fucking shirt. And then he'd get home and be like, it doesn't fit. And you're like, well, I fucking told you. Please try on clothes.
But we need to have this conversation like we don't know each other.
Okay, but why would we be talking about this?
Well, I would just have that conversation. We're going to role play.
Okay.
Okay?
Who am I?
So I'm approaching you.
Why?
Because maybe I want to get to know you.
With the dump him hat.
Yeah.
Okay. Where am I?
We're just okay.
At the coffee shop. Store.
It's not too weird. And here's the thing. Let's be real. There's a big difference between like having an attitude of being receptive to someone talking to you and being completely closed off. Because like I could say something that you would find really charming if you actually wanted to speak to me. That would seem really creepy if you already just thought I was a creep and you didn't want to talk to me.
And it could be the exact same thing you said.
This is why like a lot of women think hot guys are funny. They're not funny. You just think he's an attractive man, so everything he says is funny, right?
No.
No?
No.
That's a thing. That's kind of a thing.
Really? I feel like it's the opposite. Like if a hot guy talks to you, you just immediately think he's a dick. Like,
really?
Not funny. You just
assume
okay,
he's a jerk.
Sure, buddy. Like,
so you're biased against hot guys.
Well, I never talk to them, so.
You talk to me every day.
Except you. But like, you know what I mean? Like, when am I at a bar talking to hot guys? 10 years ago.
It's been a minute. Okay, so I approach you and I go, hi.
Hello.
Hey, my name's Ben. Is your name Google? Because you're everything I've been searching for.
That plane did not land. That plane crashed.
Oh, hey, my name's Ben. What's the last thing in your search history?
Holo Taco.
Is that the last thing what's Holo Taco?
Oh, let me tell
What's
you.
a Holo Taco? Tell me all about it.
Well, we have toppers that we call tacos, and you can put it over any base color and totally transform your mani. We just released the Fire and Ice collection. It's 3-year dozen toppers, and we have hot take and cold slate that you can put it over for a fire or cool mani.
Oh, are you talking about nail polish?
Yeah.
Oh.
You should try some. Can I paint your nails?
You could paint. I've painted my nails before.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
a guy can paint their nails.
All right. Okay, let's have another conversation.
Do you only sell to women, or can men buy your nail polish too?
Anyone can buy our nail polish.
That's good. I don't know you. I'm asking these questions.
Okay. Sorry. I had attitude. I had attitude with that one, yeah.
What do you like about painting your nails?
It's relaxing and it's creative and fun. And nails are boring without paint.
When you see someone whose nails aren't painted, like you just assume they're a boring person.
No, that's not what I mean. No.
I kind of feel that way. So I would agree
You think
with
they're
you.
boring? Okay.
Yeah.
So only one of your hands is boring.
Well, I like mixing. I like the negative space, naked nail kind of trend, you know? I think it's a little, it's like a little seductive.
Seductive.
Yeah, look, you can see some of my nail. It's just showing off a little skin, you know?
Yeah, you better be careful with that.
You could paint my nails sometime if you
Could
want.
I?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be cool.
I would like that.
Okay, what's your Discord ID?
Is that how people exchange information now?
I don't know.
I would.
What's your IG? Is probably more
What's
common.
your IG?
Yeah.
Because people don't call each other anymore, but then people text, right?
No, if you call me, I will block your number.
Can I call you
Do
on
not
the
call.
phone?
Do not call.
No, I think it's kind of nostalgic and old fashioned though. I can't call you.
Yeah, that's why I don't want it.
I'll give you a warning. I'll text you and be like, I'm going to call you.
I do not want an old-fashioned boy. Like, no.
Oh, you don't?
No, do not call me ever.
Never call
No.
you? What if it's an
I feel
emergency?
Like I'm on the cusp. I'm basically Gen Z in this situation because I'm so aware of so many millennials, like people my age. Like I'm thinking back to like older people older than I am at work, and they just want to pick up the phone and call someone. And then I was like, no, I will email you back. Or like, please email me. Email is so much better to get a hold of me. And then people older than me would be like, that makes literally no sense. A phone call is clearly better. And I'd be like, no, it's not. I won't answer, so it's not. And then I had arguments with like people about why I think it's more effective to email.
So you're ahead of the antisocial trends.
Yeah. But now no one calls. So I was trending in the right direction. I knew for like 10 years it's a bad idea to call people. Don't call me. Don't leave me a voicemail. Text me and I might answer. I'm way more likely to answer if you text or email me. And I'm definitely not going to answer you if you call me.
Hey, I got another line.
What?
Hey, I really like that shirt on you. I really like your shirt.
Thanks.
It would look better on my bedroom floor.
Shut up. Okay. Like, no.
Okay, here.
No.
Okay, less flirty.
No.
I just want to get to know you. Just, hey, hi, my name's Ben. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
Do you think people have ever been to the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah? How come no one's ever gone back in like 50 years?
Because it was boring.
There's nothing to do up there.
There's nothing to do there.
Would you ever want to
hear.
go to the moon?
No, it sounds dangerous.
Yeah. I think maybe they faked it. They were just jumping slowly. You know?
Why would they do that?
Oh, to win the space race, but just to fake it. Kind of like a YouTube prank,
Who?
Like it's just a prank, bro. We didn't actually go to the moon.
Do you do pranks, bro?
No, I don't like pranks. I would never do a prank or fake going to the moon.
Okay. I don't think you should say. I don't think you should lead with conspiracy theories.
No? Okay.
No.
That was bad.
That's
bad
bad.
opening line.
Yeah, definitely. Try
Hey,
again.
what about this? Hey, if you were a transformer, what kind of car would you be? You know, like if you were a robot that could turn into a car, what kind of car would you want to be?
I don't know, like a Lambo?
A Lambo?
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. My sister just got a dog and named her Lambo. So
Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah, do you like dogs?
I like dogs.
Cool. Do you like cats?
I'm allergic to cats.
Goodbye.
But I'd be willing to
conversation.
sacrifice for the right woman.
Oh my god.
Here's an opening line. You tell me what you think.
Okay.
Hey, have you been working out?
Why do you ask?
You look like you've been working out. You look really good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Question mark?
Okay, stepping out of the situation for a second.
Okay.
If someone hasn't been working out, you just gas them up a little bit, you know?
What if they haven't? Then you just make
Well,
them
that's
feel
what I'm saying.
bad.
No, they feel good. Because you're like, oh, I've just been sitting around eating Doritos. This person thinks I've been working out.
No, but you might misinterpret them and think they're just like trolling you
Well, no, I'm saying it
and being
sincerely.
mean. Yeah, but how do I know that? I don't know you.
So
See what I mean? You gotta be careful with that
maybe
one.
the first thing I comment on shouldn't be someone's physical appearance.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's
don't
not the
think
way
so.
to go. Here's one. Hey, if you had a magic lamp,
Okay.
genie,
In a bottle.
it's a lamp.
A genie in a bottle. Better rub me the right way.
It's like
Christina
have you
Aguilera?
seen Aladdin?
Yeah, why is it genie in a bottle per lyric? It is a genie in a lamp, right?
I think
In
so.
Aladdin.
I guess it could be a bottle
What
too.
timeline am I on?
Okay, you've got a water bottle with a genie in it.
Okay.
Genie's gonna give you 3 wishes. Can I have one?
No.
I can't have one.
I don't know you.
Yeah, but you got 3 wishes. I'm the one who introduced you to the
Maybe I
genie.
deserve them.
You do, but I'm trying to get a sense of if you're a kind person or not, a giving person. And right away, she's selfish, wants to keep all 3 wishes. I'm probably better off talking to somebody else.
I wish for you to leave.
I can't have one wish.
Okay, fine. But what
Okay.
is it? It depends what it is.
I wish I could see you naked.
Stop!
But maybe let me know if we can make that happen without
Oh my
wasting
God.
a wish.
You would never say that when you first meet someone. Don't say that.
Ooh, fun. Hey. Hi, my name's Ben.
Hi.
What's your favorite Radiohead song?
I like a lot of them. Karma Police is an obvious one.
It's a good answer. Someone did that to me at the meet and greet.
They did.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I'm not saying they were being flirty, but they were just like, I'm pretty sure they were a child. But they
Okay.
they were like, "What's your favorite Radiohead song?"
What'd you say?
Motion picture soundtrack. Last track on Kid A,
Okay.
I think is the right answer. But it was just like, oh, that's kind of smart. It was a very specific question, but I guess they knew I like Radiohead.
They were quizzing you to
They were
see if
quizzing
you
me.
lied about liking Radiohead.
But it immediately put me in the position of feeling like I need to give them a good answer to validate that I know what I'm talking about. It worked.
That happens to me sometimes, but it's usually like a harder question and it doesn't come with a specific answer. It's like, do you have any advice for what I should do in school? Kind of question. I'm just like,
That's a heavy
where do I begin? Like,
study, do homework.
yeah. Like, oh no.
Have you ever tried deep fried butter?
No.
No, I haven't either. But I had deep fried ice cream one
I
time.
don't like touching butter
Oh yeah, why not?
because it feels weird.
If you deep fried it, you wouldn't have to touch the butter. You just touch the outer
Do
fried
you
shell.
eat it like a chicken nugget?
Yeah, you put it in your mouth and chew.
A stick of butter. Deep fried butter?
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't do it. But I like ice cream.
Okay.
Are you more of an ice cream or a gelato kind of person?
Gelato.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Don't you think gelato's a little like, look at me, I'm so fancy? Like, do you stick your pinky out when you're drinking tea?
Yeah, I just said I like gelato and now you're insulting me?
Yeah.
Why? Now I'm gonna leave. Goodbye. Door closed. AOL exit sound just played. Next.
Okay. Hey, Do you know how to read?
Yes.
What's the last book you read?
Fuck. I don't read books. I read Twitter.
Oh, that's when I leave.
No.
Close the door.
I can read your hat.
Yeah? Are you going to listen to it?
No. What are you reading now? Jurassic Park?
I'm reading, yeah. How did you know?
Because it's beside your bed. Because I read
You're looking in my bedroom window?
How's Jurassic Park?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the movie. Have you seen the movie Jurassic Park?
Yeah, a long time ago. It was scary.
Was it? Yeah, it was too scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, the book is similar, but it's a little bit more about, well, I'm still reading it, but I think it's more about how, like, corporate greed.
Of dinosaurs.
No, the company that, like, made the dinosaurs. It's just how, like, sort of how there isn't enough accountability or regulation of some of these companies doing this sort of scientific research for profit. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Sounds smart.
Yeah. Did I get you? I got you with the dinosaurs?
Maybe. I'd consider a follow-up conversation.
Oh, would you?
Make sure to email me.
All right. I'll I'll DM you on Discord.
Okay.
Hey, what's the last television show you binge watched? I need a new show.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets? What's that about?
It's not about a yellow jacket.
Is that a bumblebee?
No, it's about a high school soccer team of ladies who went in a plane to compete in nationals or something, and then their plane crashed, and then they were stuck in the Canadian wilderness for like 18 months.
Oh. So it's about them, like, surviving.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, except...
Sorry, that's a book.
Thanks. I know what that is. That!
Is it a good show? What was it on?
I don't know, one of the streaming services.
Isn't it like... I thought the streaming services would save us from cable and how expensive TV has gotten.
Now they're
But now I
murdering
need
us.
like 10 different streaming services to watch a show.
Yeah, they did not solve the problem.
Hey, maybe if we pool all our resources, I have like 3 streaming services, you have 3 streaming resources, and then collectively we could just have access to
Is
6.
this a business proposition?
Purely business.
Okay, well, I heard that Netflix won't let you share accounts anymore.
I think that's only if you're not in the same postal code. So we should probably buy houses right next to each other. So it could get past that. We could share internet so we have the same IP address as well.
Oh, yeah, let me just give you access to all of my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Totally.
You can see my search history.
Uh-huh. What's
Yeah.
in it?
Nothing. I've got nothing to hide. I'm going to look up Yellow Jackets after this.
Okay.
Hey, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
To Raleigh.
Raleigh. Raleigh, North Carolina? I've
Yeah.
never heard of it.
It's a cool place. There's 3 stops there that were really fun.
There are 3 stops? There's 3 stops in Raleigh?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are they, just malls?
Yeah. One's a mall.
Uh-huh. Do they have good barbecue in Raleigh?
They did have barbecue.
Okay. Was it good? Did you try the fried chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I had the fried chicken.
Okay.
You tried it.
I
yeah.
did. Like what?
We ordered fried chicken. The lady came out. Like that was like a whole chicken.
Oh yeah, way too much fried chicken.
There was way too much. It was like a
Yeah.
single order. I just wanted dinner. It was a family feast.
Yeah, the servings are quite large.
This is true. Every time we go to the States, this sneaks up on us somehow.
We always forget.
Yeah.
Like we really should have just split a meal because they're so big.
Do we just not eat much?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe the common practice is you just always take home leftovers. But when you're traveling and stuff, it's like not really ideal to have
The
that.
hotel is just
To
full
take it to
of
the hotel,
5
like, just too
pounds
much.
of fried
Yeah.
chicken.
Oh, no.
We'll just leave that for later. What's the best vacation you've ever been on?
Wow. I recently went to the Dominican Republic.
That's exciting.
With this guy
Oh, yeah?
and a vacation collection box.
With a guy and nail polish.
Yeah. It was so much fun. Painted his
Yeah.
nails.
It's like a beach vacation
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah. That sounds awesome.
There's lots of pictures and video online if you want to see.
Okay, I'll look that up. I'm
Check
going
my
to Google
TikTok.
that later. All right, a few more. what do you think of this as an opening line? Hey, what's your most controversial opinion?
Fuck. That's terrible.
A lot of these websites suggest this as like ask someone for a
They want to
controversial
do
opinion or a hot take.
sabotage. Like this website is trying to sabotage you.
A little bit, right? Because it's like, hey, tell me an opinion that would get you canceled. Tell me something that you think other people would judge you for having this opinion.
Maybe if I'm trying to look at this favorably, it's trying to give some quick insight so you can do your due diligence quickly. It's like the most effective way to decide whether or not you want to disqualify a candidate.
You
it's
can
like,
root
give
out
your worst, let's go. And then it's
root out bigots really quickly.
I could deal with that. Or it's like, goodbye. Like next.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste my time. I can see it.
And it depends what people like. A hot take could be like something really offensive, or it could be like, I like dipping my fries in mayonnaise instead of ketchup.
No.
That's disqualifying?
Yeah.
I prefer dipping my fries in mayo.
Really?
It's very French Canadian. Oui, oui.
No, ben non là.
Ben non.
C'est dégoûtant.
Who likes ketchup is overrated.
Yeah, I don't care that much about ketchup.
Tomato, sugar, ketchup isn't very
Yeah,
good.
it's
so
like
mayo.
whatever.
Mayo is better.
But like
People
on a sandwich.
people call it like aioli. We're talking mayonnaise.
No, garlic aioli?
Yeah, it's mayo.
But okay, sure. It's mayo with garlic.
So you prefer mayo too?
Not on a french fry alone.
Comment down below if you would rather dip your french fry in plain mayonnaise or ketchup.
Ew.
Which is
Plain
ew.
mayonnaise like Hellman's?
Sure.
No.
Better than ketchup.
No.
So this is a hot take.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a hot take? I asked you the question.
I steep my tea forever.
Oh my god.
Sometimes I eat tea.
We're so incompatible. What's your favorite food?
Tea.
Tea? It's your favorite food?
Okay, oats. I'm really exciting.
You are, I can tell. All right, last one. What's
Okay.
the last thing you bought online that you really love?
Nail polish.
I thought you would just do the plug here, but you already did it.
Yeah, holotaco.com.
Yeah,
Fire and Ice.
I can find it at
collection.
www.holotaco.com.
Yeah, it's in a bundle. You can get a bundle price.
That's
cool.
fire.
I know.
All right, I'm
so cool.
all out of lines. But you know what this just proves?
What?
There's no like, here's what you say to somebody.
Well, if you're trying to pick someone up, I don't know about any of these lines.
You didn't like any of them? The trick is to just like,
Just be normal.
just be a human being.
Which is hard. I know. I understand.
That's
it's not
why-
as easy as it sounds.
It's so much easier to do it in a context where you're already in some sort of shared experience. Whether that was like, I met you in like a seminar in grad school, right? So there just we had something to talk about. The first stuff we just talked about was your
school.
You presented some like research you were doing for your thesis.
And then you just asked me about it. And I was able to talk about it because it's literally what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so much easier. You have to, that's just finding common ground, really.
But
right?
it's so much easier to find common ground when you're already in a common
Location.
place.
But that's
Like at work, right?
Yeah, but that's the problem that I do think like young people today are saying is the challenge is that there's way less public space common grounds than when we were growing up because even a lot of schools have turned more to online or you're less likely to like talk to people in class or hang out after class or just like common curricular activities have changed. I'm not saying they're all gone now, but a lot of people's jobs too have turned more remote when they previously weren't remote. And that does result in less opportunities in public spaces to just like have casual random conversations.
It can be super isolating. I agree. I think as adults, it's much easier to make friends and meet people if you're just like being kind of forced into a context where like you're sharing an office or a space with them.
Yeah. And that's how you make friends, like with your coworkers. Or when you go to like workplace events or whatever, and then they make you do things and activities together.
Anyway, Cristine thought my idea of just saying lines at her was not good. So she looked up these games people play to get to know people.
Yeah.
This is mostly in like corporate settings, I think.
Yeah. So when we thought about doing a podcast on like the topic of icebreakers, we both had very different ideas of what that would look like.
I
So
just wanted to flirt with
what
you.
you just saw was Ben's idea of what's icebreakers, and mine. I was like, okay, I'm very impressed right now. Can you tell? And my idea was like, whenever you go to camp or like you go to camp or you're going to like a workplace or a leadership conference or something where it's like you have the day to spend to get to know people, and whether it's your employer or whatever is trying to make everyone get to know each other, they often do these icebreaker activities. So it's not one-liners. It's like, you guys are in a group and you're in a group and you're going to do this activity. So I'm going to force everyone to get along and get to know people. Sometimes it also happens in class, like before you do a group project or something, a prof has done that. So I have a lot of memories of like being forced to do that kind of stuff and feeling like it. So then I looked some up online and I was like, wow, do people still do these things? So I thought we could go through them and discuss.
All right. So we're judging if these are good ways of getting to know people.
Yeah.
All right. The first one, you have our introduction interviews. Getting to know people in the room is a crucial part of every conference.
Okay, true.
And yes, obligatory introduction rounds are usually pretty awkward. True. Try something different. Put participants in pairs and let them interview each other. Then give them 5 minutes to learn about one another's background, professional experience, or passions. Then do the introduction round, but this time let the interviewer introduce the interviewee.
I hate this.
So I haven't done many of these in my life, these other examples. This one I did do.
Do you remember where or in what context?
I think it was when I was doing media training for the government.
Oh, yeah, they did do stuff like that.
I think so. Like when we were at StatCan, sometimes we'd write papers, and like technically you'd have to make yourself available to give a comment to a journalist, right? Mm-hmm. So we'd have to go through this mandatory like 2-day course about
media training,
how to answer questions,
or how to avoid answering the questions.
Yeah, how to not get trapped into saying something you shouldn't. Well, it's actually pretty funny, right? Because like, I think usually in my experience talking to journalists, they're just like trying to finish a story. They're not really trying to trick you into saying something. But I do know a guy once who the journalist was clearly trying to get him to say something in a certain way that would be like very salacious and controversial. So you do have to sort of watch out for traps sometimes. But yeah, I remember in this course, they did this exercise. And this one actually kind of makes sense to me because it's like, it just forces you to have like a normal conversation with one other person. And then to the group, you're like, oh yeah, I just met Gary. He really likes model trains and playing Genshin Impact. And he likes bagels a lot. He really likes bagels. He eats a bagel like almost every day, but nothing on it, just a plain bagel.
Oh, interesting, yeah. Gary. Nice to meet you.
I'm not Gary.
But like, I didn't like these.
Of course not.
Because here, let me explain. While I was telling the person like my facts or whatever so they could remember it, I was just trying to remember what they told me about them. Because I was like, I'm going to forget. I don't remember what they said. I'm going to need to ask them again. I need to write this down. Yeah. So my anxiety of trying to remember how to say their story made me like not be able to communicate my own. So like it was too challenging. And then having to get up. This is the worst part of probably all of these. Is like you have to stand up in front of, I don't know, dozens, maybe 100 people, depending on what it is, and tell people someone else's story. And it's just like the most awkward thing. I mean, also saying your own story is awkward. Is it
less awkward that you're saying stuff about someone else? Because I think that's kind of
I think that's their point, is that they're trying to make you loosen up by just talking about someone else. Yeah. And then you get to react to someone else talking about you. But if you struggle with like trying to remember everything because now you're experiencing like social performance anxiety, you're going to fuck up someone else's story. And now you're like embarrassing them. And like that feels so unfair.
But if you're just embarrassed that what you're saying isn't interesting enough, you know it's not even about you, right?
Yeah, but I'm not looking at it from like a narcissistic perspective. I'm thinking like this person will be upset with me because they'll think I forgot everything about them.
You might be overthinking.
Really?
The whole exercise.
It depends. If it was a room of like 6 people, then like whatever. But I remember having to do these in larger situations.
It's not memorable to be like, Hey, this is Gary. He likes, what do you like, Gary? Bagels? Oh, okay. Gary has a 3 kid. How many kids do you have, Gary? Gary's just really boring.
But
He
that
doesn't have a
would
lot
just
going on.
prove to the prof, let's say we're in class, that like you're not listening, you're not paying attention because you didn't actually take in anything that Gary told you. So people in the room would look at you like, okay, this guy has a dump him hat on. He's not paying attention.
You
to
got
anyone.
me this hat.
I know, I'm kidding.
Are you trying to make me less attractive to other people?
What? No.
Why'd you react so sad to
I
that?
don't know why. Gary.
I'm not Gary.
Okay.
All
What's
right,
the next one?
The next one is an ice-breaking poll. Of course you would
I
like
love
this.
polls. Okay, finally a good idea.
Live polls are one of the easiest ways to break the ice and capture your audience's attention.
And get statistics.
They work particularly well if you want to engage a larger crowd at a conference, like more than
like
50
a chat,
people.
a live chat.
As part of your opening remarks, use a fun poll to loosen up the atmosphere. It's a great way to set the tone for your event. Here's a few examples we love. How energized are you feeling right now on a scale of 1 to 10?
Dumb poll. Do not ask
Bad.
that poll. Terrible.
That
This is
should-
going so well.
That should not be the first question at a conference.
How energized are you on a scale of 1
So
to
people
10?
are like, I'm fucking miserable. Why
bored.
am I here?
Exactly. You just have everyone, and if it's anonymous, everyone will write one if they hate this.
Here, as a child, what did you want to be when you grow up?
That's not a poll.
How do you poll that? You need to give them options. If age
That's
is
a
only
qualitative question.
4 categories: astronaut,
You can only pick
Chef.
between these 4. YouTuber.
and last example: if age is only a state of mind,
What?
what is your
That's
state
a
of
weird
mind right
question.
now?
Ew, that sounds like the energy where people are like, age is just a number, and it's like a creepy guy saying that. Like, no, just nope. Do not ask that question, sir.
This is just trying to say, like, are you a cheeky child, tormented teenager, mad midlifer, or groovy grandparent?
Who is attending this event? Everyone from ages like 0 to 90? The fuck? Are you a sneaky child?
It's a Miranda Sings meet and greet.
Stop! I want to know. Man, okay. I don't understand this poll, but
You like the idea of a poll?
like doing polls because, let me explain. Especially if you can just do it on your phone in the audience or whatever, then you don't have to say anything to anyone, but everyone gets the benefit of everyone's information being submitted, so we can all look at the results on the screen and
There
smile.
is no ice being broken here. Is this supposed to be an icebreaker?
There is, because
No one
you're
is
getting
getting
a
to
pulse
know
on the
anyone.
audience, and the audience doesn't even have to talk. It's brilliant.
I'm getting a pulse on the aggregation of everyone's
Yeah.
opinion poll
Great.
results.
It takes too long to talk
That
to
doesn't tell
everyone
me-
individually.
That doesn't tell me anything.
Yes, it does.
What do I? Okay.
How does it not tell
I'm at
you
a conference
anything?
with 50 people.
Yeah.
And 65% of them say their energy is
Okay, well, that was a
2
dumb
out
poll.
of 10.
So
what?
you better do something
Should I just
about
walk
that.
up to everyone and assume they're fucking miserable to be here?
No, it means you need to take action and make them have a good time.
But I want to know Gary. I want to know that he likes bagels.
then
I want to know that he plays video games.
you can talk to Gary and get that qualitative data. Okay, mixed
But the
methods is always good.
Human data.
But
it is the qualitative.
quantitative is also a value, especially in contexts where there's so many people.
But it's not
So
good
you
for
can
getting to know
what's
the
everyone's favorite color.
individual.
Okay, yeah, I know, but let's do mixed methods here. Okay, sociology 101.
This is not a research question where mixed methods.
Research
Applied.
the people, Ben. The whole point of an icebreaker is to get to know not just one person, but the group. So we could use some of these statistics.
Are you being
polls,
serious?
Yeah, to get to know the whole group. And then you can also do the other personalized individual level icebreakers after you do the initial polls, because I think the polls just help everyone relax a little
If
bit.
I'm in a room full of people and I want to get to know them,
You do a poll first, and then you talk to them.
their average response to like what their favorite color is like not giving me any insight into any of them on an individual level.
Yeah, I know, but it sets the tone and explains the demographic of who we're dealing with here.
The demographic.
Yeah. Who are these people? Like, I mean, it depends on the questions you ask, but I'm assuming it could be dumb shit like, what's your favorite
I'm just
color?
saying
What's
any
your favorite activity?
substantive question, getting the average aggregate response of any meaningful question doesn't give me any information about their individual answers.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it tells you who's in the room.
I can see who's in the room.
But
There's
you don't
Gary.
know on average if they like the color purple. Or
I don't
whatever.
care. The average is meaningless to me. Right?
Says a statistician.
If I'm trying to sell them nail polish, I might want to know collectively what their favorite color is.
Okay, whenever I play a game on stream, I'd like to know, has anyone in the chat played it before? And it's actually really helpful to do a poll.
But your goal there isn't to get to know any one of them individually.
No, but
You care about the unit of analysis being the whole.
Yes, and then after that, the people, once they know that like a very few people have played the game, the people who have feel empowered to like share something they know about the game because they acknowledge that now they've learned who's in the room. And I actually think there's so much value to doing a little, it's like setting the stage for who's in this room, let's feel more comfortable. Or maybe most people have played the game and they get to celebrate and talk about their mutual interests, whereas they wouldn't have known that had I not run the poll. Who's in Holo Royalty? 80% say I am, and everyone's like, yeah, or something.
Okay, you do have a point that it does set the stage to actually
Encourage more interaction.
orient the conversations they could have to actually.
Yeah, it's
say
just about,
something
it's a way to make people feel comfortable before you actually have to talk to them, because talking to people is hard. So let's do this first.
So you like this idea?
Yeah.
You would.
Anyway.
All right, here's another one. This dynamic icebreaker is really something. It can skyrocket the energy levels in the room and get people super excited.
Wow.
Inspired by Eric de Groot, who used it to kick off his TEDx talk.
A TED Talk. Great.
Invite everyone in the room to stand up, grab a paper that has previously been handed out, crumple it up into a small ball, then instruct people to throw the paper balls at a target in the room. Once the music has started to play, the result? An instant party.
Wow.
This
Okay,
is an
wait.
awful
So
idea.
when you go to like conferences or something and they hand out a pamphlet or a sheet of paper and it's like, here's the agenda.
You know, this proves just like people at conferences don't know how to have fun. Just got a bunch of epidemiologists in a room thinking throwing paper around is their version of a good time.
But like, who's going to clean that up? That was my first thought when I read this. I was like,
The
yeah, that
janitor?
sounds like a great idea if you're 7. But like, if you're going to a conference and you have like the meeting minutes or something or the agenda, and then the person on the stage instructs you to crumple it up and throw it at them.
What if it was like everyone just throws it at one person?
Who is it? Who's the person?
I just think there's a lot of social bonding that happens over
Yeah.
like the collective mean-spirited targeting of an individual.
Right, but that you have to have an aligned response and consensus of who it is you're targeting and why.
Yeah, they need to deserve it.
You can't just randomly pick someone.
I mean, you could.
Well, yeah, but
It's
I
really
would not advise
it
that.
is mean.
Yeah, that's not advisable. But if you banded
I'm
together,
obviously joking about this, by the way.
are you? But like, if you banded together and really didn't like the presenter, and then just threw the paper at them,
Yeah.
I wonder what effect that would have.
Well, if someone's telling you to crumple up paper and throw it around the room, and you're like, "This guy's a fucking idiot. I don't want to do that." That he is who I'd be throwing it at.
You know, if someone actually said that though, like think if we were like, I don't know, 22 and went to some conference, it would be something I wouldn't forget. Like I would remember that presentation, whatever it was. It would have to have a point. Like right now, I don't know how they're gonna make that have a point.
Yeah, being
But-
memorable doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
I think the point is like, hey, look how easy it is to get people to do something.
I could see a really obnoxious like sociology philosopher being like, take the knowledge, crumple it up, and throw it.
That's some
And
like
it's
new
the discursive.
agey-
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like I could see someone like in that field doing that.
I think the point could be like, oh, when someone in a position of authority tells you to do something stupid, you might just do it in the context of thinking that person is
right.
an authority figure.
Yeah, or has a point. to
This is
something.
basically the Stanford prison experiment, but you're just throwing paper and not imprisoning
Not
your
imprisoning,
classmates, you know?
a bit of a jump. Just a bit. Okay, what's next one?
Basically the same thing. A flying challenge. Hand out pens and papers and prompt participants to write down their personal challenges. Then instruct them to crumple up the paper into balls and then throw them in the air. There's a lot of throwing of paper here. After this, everyone grabs the nearest paper ball and reads out some of the anonymous challenges.
Okay, wait.
Icebreaker is not only a great energy boost, it'll help reveal some of the most serious hurdles your team faces.
But anonymously. So is the point you anonymously write what challenge you have, like at work or whatever, or just in life?
Just crumple up a ball, throw it in the air.
What if you're like, my cat keeps peeing outside the litter box? You like put it on a sheet.
I hate my kids.
And then you said,
yeah, this could get really rough.
And then imagine like your coworker unravels it and is like, this one says, I hate my children. Yeah, and then you have to figure out who it is.
I don't think the goal is to figure out who it is.
What is the goal?
I don't know.
To like help.
You found this, not me.
To help the person, but anonymously figure it out.
I think this is more like a problem-solving exercise where sometimes, like, on a team, whether it's at school or work, people might have ideas of how they think the work could be done better, but they don't want to have to attach their name to it.
Well, that's what a suggestion box is for. And there was always those, and from my memory at a workplace, you remember? There was always an anonymous suggestion box.
There was?
Yeah. I guess you never put anything in it. Neither did I, but I would talk to people who would put it in.
I was pretty willing to say...
He didn't need a box. He just gave suggestions.
Yeah, sometimes I was maybe a little too forthcoming with what I thought about things.
All the hot takes. I was a cold slate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So understand. Yeah, anonymous box can make sense. Did we have one? Did we actually have one?
Yes.
Like a physical box, or was it an email?
There was both, actually. Yeah,
there was a physical box.
They modernized a little bit in recent history, but I always remember.
So they just took the things in the box, just threw it in the recycling.
It was like, do you remember when they did those all staffs, those like half day all staffs, and it only happened like once a year?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
There was always a box, and they would advertise it by email before, saying like, you can put stuff in the box, and then they would go through it. The admin would go through it and pick some for like the director to say and respond to during the talk.
Yes.
Yeah. But like they had time to think about the answer, so the answer was always like kind of what you expected.
Curating which of them they're even willing to acknowledge. Yeah.
So it's a suggestion box that is a little bit of a void, but at least it exists. So I'm not discouraging suggestion box, but I also acknowledge they don't always do what the suggester wants them to do. Yeah.
Well, yeah, not that they should.
Yeah, it's like a discretionary box.
The suggester is just as likely to be wrong or misguided as management, often, I think.
Yeah, it's really just an optics thing that like you want to provide the opportunity to make suggestions, but then ultimately they're not. Yeah. Anyways, okay.
So this was not a good idea. Question ball. That was question ball. Guess my job. Write down a slip of paper of the most interesting or unconventional job you've ever had, place it in a bowl, and ask each participant to toss their paper in. Ask the rest of the delegates additional questions that would help them guess like who it is. How would you know?
That's
you don't
fun.
know anyone though.
Yeah, but you have to ask them questions to figure out who it is. It's kind of like Clue, but what was your job? Like if I worked in a car shop, which maybe you wouldn't expect, you could ask questions about like, do you know the difference between an American engine and a German engine in a car?
I just don't know why we have to make like these games around it when it could be like, hey, tell me something interesting about yourself.
Because this is exactly
And Christine would be like, I used to work at a car shop.
No, see, that's not what I would do, because the average person who's not good at social interactions will not be able to on the spot just come up with something. So the point of, and this is like this is normal. That's why icebreaker activities that are fucking annoying like this exist, precisely for this reason, to force people to more easily be able to provide information or something instead of just like a blanket explain yourself. Because like A, that's boring. B, no one comes up with anything good unless you're like a talented comedic person on the spot. You know, not everyone's a Bentendo, okay? Like, it's hard for some of us. So
you're good at it.
No.
Yeah.
No. I need a question prompt. And I like some of these for that reason. And I never would have participated in like standing up in front of the class voluntarily and explaining things had I not been forced into it by these types of games where I didn't have a choice.
It's just not that serious. I don't know. This kind of stuff drives me nuts, to be honest.
Doing icebreakers?
I hate these types of activities.
I hate them too, but I'm just saying they serve a purpose.
But sorry, I hate them and think it would be so much easier to just like be like, hello.
Yeah, but the other person would just not participate because it's like, okay, this is weird and boring. I don't want to come, or I don't want to say anything. Or if I have an option to not do anything, then I just won't. So they do this on purpose, and they did this, like, I learned all this shit in camp because they're trying to get kids to talk to each other, and then I started to see the same types of activities in, like, workplace settings. They would do the same things, like forcing you in teams. Do you remember when we had to do, like, the survey classes for, like, a week or two? Remember?
Oh, at Stat? Yeah.
And then before we began, it was always like, okay, you 6 are in a team and you have to figure out what 6 items you're going to bring to your island or something. And it's like an icebreaker activity that's kind of forcing you to get to know the other people without directly asking them questions about themselves.
Yeah, I'd rather just ask them questions.
But the other people may not. They will just sit there and be like, do.
So I have to play the fantasy we're stranded on an island game.
Yes.
Yeah, to indulge their hang-ups. Okay.
Or you don't. Or you don't have to go, I guess. Like
I don't have to go to the island?
Yeah, or the activity.
None of these activities seem less stressful to me than just having a conversation with someone. That's what I'm having trouble wrapping my head around.
Well, you're normal.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not.
What?
Also, there's this assumption like, this is going to come off wrong.
So don't say it.
I'm anxious about meeting people in social settings too.
Yeah.
I just don't go around talking about how much anxiety I have about things sometimes.
That's not what I'm saying either. But you self-admitted that like you find it really easy to just be like, hey, here's some questions.
No, I think I can.
That's not what you meant?
I think I can do that, but it's not that I'm not at all anxious about having to talk to a stranger or share something about myself.
Yeah, fair.
I just think you just do it, you know?
Yes, but it is more boring. Even, let's just say people can do that. Uh-huh. It gets boring. If it's just like, hey, what are you doing?
What's boring?
Do you like oat milk? It's on
you know
your
what's
shirt.
boring to me? Throwing balls around a room.
But that's kind of chaotic. Like, I kind of like the chaos. That or the old Jobs one is kind of funny. You could throw people off with that one, Milk Boy.
Okay. I would just rather have a conversation.
Okay. I'm glad we had like 17 conversations earlier. Those are really good.
Weren't they? Why did you ever agree to go out with me?
I don't remember. Because we liked criminology, like common ground.
Common ground.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. Was that the last one?
There's something about throwing around pennies, but...
Oh, no, that one's so funny. Read that one.
You want me to read that one?
Please do that one.
Here's an icebreaker game that will please even the introverts.
Yeah!
It's very simple and placid.
What? That's what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Place a handful of pennies or cents on every table. Tell each of the attendees to pick one randomly. Next, let the delegates introduce each other one by one, starting with their name, role at the company, and the year on the penny they chose.
They have to say the year on the penny.
They need to tell a story about an interesting thing that happened to them in that year, or share with others what made that particular year exceptional. Quick, fun, and informative.
What if the penny says 1967?
Then you go, 1967, that was 31 years before I was born. Some people are terrified at the thought of what life will be like after they're dead and how people will go on without them. But I think more about how the absence of me in the world before the year I was born is a more terrifying concept.
That sounds very narcissistic. To say that you're scared of the world before you were born. What are you implying? That you made the world a better place?
I think it's easier to wrap your head around how one day you're going to die and you're not going to be here anymore. But I think thinking about your context in the world before you were born is actually kind of more disturbing. Like thinking about like your parents before you existed.
Okay.
Or like people that know you in your context. Thinking about like your world without you in it.
Yeah. I think we should do that more often.
I'm just trying to think of something you could say about a year before you were born.
Okay. What if we were to actually do the penny game? Like, how many people would actually be able to say something?
Cristine, 1993.
I was 5.
Yeah.
I don't have memories from then.
I saw the Transformers movie in theater. They killed Optimus Prime within the first few minutes. It was just because they wanted to sell more toys, but it like killed my childhood hero.
Okay.
1999.
I was dressing up as Sporty Spice, and I was so retro.
That's fun.
Yeah, with a tattoo choker necklace and a hair in a ponytail.
Is that the Jenna Marbles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see you remember.
I never wore one of those.
Oh, you should. I could get you one.
Could you get me one?
It'd look good with your outfit.
Do I have to keep wearing this dump him hat?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I should probably give it away.
I think it's funny, but you seem to have trouble with it, which is fine. But I just think it's kind of funny.
You don't think I'm just being a creep?
No, unless you are being a creep, then you're being a creep. But like you're not, and I don't think honestly that the average, unassuming person thinks that.
Behavior that would have otherwise just seemed friendly might seem creepy if I'm also wearing this hat.
Yeah.
Like
if you were checking out at the cash
I'm buying
somewhere.
some groceries and I'm just like trying to have some small talk with the cashier, but like she thinks I'm trying to hit on her or something.
Right, but you're really just like, can I get the paper bag? Like,
yeah. Can I get a reusable bag, please?
And she's like, oh.
Exactly.
Don't talk to me. Okay, I understand your fear and I get why the label on your head may cause you to think that way. But if I saw a guy wearing that and he was just acting like normal, I would not think that. I would laugh at the hat. I just think it's funny. But that's my sense of humor, and I don't automatically assume it's because someone's actually trying to be an asshole. But there are people in the world who might just make that assumption immediately based on the text on your head. So you're not wrong, but it's not what I identify with how I would react. I just think it's funny because it's stupid.
Comment down below if I should wear the dump him hat.
Outside, in the real world.
Outside.
And do icebreakers with it.
I'm not.
You should just randomly go try and meet someone.
What are you suggesting?
Maybe the coffee shop lady who was like, hey, cheater.
Oh, God. I haven't seen her. I don't know.
Where'd she go?
She's gone.
Maybe you should wear the hat and see if it'll summon her.
There was another coffee shop incident, though.
What?
Well, it wasn't to me. Like, there was a lady in a coffee shop being sort of rude to the people working there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, should I say something? Or is that kind of patronizing? Because, like, they can handle themselves, They're probably more used to and they know how to deal with difficult customers. But again, it was like a lady there who seemed a little not quite all there, who was just kind of being rude and condescending to the staff.
Yeah, that's not fair to the staff.
No, yeah. But is it the place of just me, a random customer, to say something? I thought about it.
I feel like it's case by case. If the staff appeared to be handling it or engaging, then I would not intervene.
But the staff the staff don't want to get fired,
right?
So they're not going to be like, "Fuck you, Barbara."
Okay, well,
you know what I mean?
Are you going to say "fuck you, Barbara"?
Well, yeah. No one can fire me. The manager. I'm not going to get in trouble.
Right, but you may make it worse.
Yeah,
because all of a sudden to Barbara, there's some random guy like yelling at her, and she'll get more aggravated. So you have to be careful to not escalate.
I'm not trying to escalate the situation, but I could say something that the employees can't because I don't have to adhere to some like corporate code of conduct. Understood,
but will that help the situation or harm it? Just because you can tell her to fuck off and she's being an unreasonable bitch doesn't mean you should. If it makes it worse.
Yeah, but even like just talking back to them at all and being like, hey, you're being rude. Like, stop that. can the person working there like feel like they can even say that without potentially getting in trouble?
I just think in those situations, I try and think of the outcome of whatever you're going to say. Even if you said really reasonably and it wasn't like, fuck you, bitch, get out of here. Like, even if you were like, hey, I think that's not very nice. I think you're being rude. If the person's already behaving that way, it's unlikely that they're going to turn around and be like, oh, you're right. I am being rude. I will calm down now. Like, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to judge it based on their behavior. But, like, that's probably not going to work.
I don't know if I agree
might
with
make
you.
it worse.
Because I think a lot of people go through life being unreasonable people. And people are all... Most of the time, people go through life way too timid or wanting to avoid conflict that people just don't give any resistance to those people.
Yeah, but if it's not your job to do that, and even if you made it your job, you will not fix it while Barbara's already screaming.
But I
in the
think I'm
coffee shop.
disagreeing with you that sometimes just giving them a little bit of pushback is enough to get someone to stop.
Yeah, but your impression on them will do nothing. They need people who are consistently in their lives to be those people to talk some reason.
I'm not trying to fix Barbara's day-to-day life here. I'm trying to get her to stop being rude to someone trying to make her a coffee in a moment.
Do you want to know what I would do?
What would you do?
Okay, I wouldn't, but if I was someone else who didn't mind doing this, but like, I would not do it. I would be like, hey, do you want to come over here and talk about it?
I don't want to.
Yeah, well, yeah, no one wants to do that, but that is the move you do with an unreasonable person, and you pull them away from the situation to diffuse it, but you kind of have to trick them to do it.
What are they, like a dog? I could like, hey, come over here. Here's a shiny object.
You have to find a way to pull it out of the area of conflict and just divert it. And maybe it's like going outside with them, talking about it this way. Maybe one of the staff comes with you. But like, if you just tell them they're being rude in the middle of this customer service experience, like you will probably indirectly make it worse because this person's already an unreasonable person.
My hope is that it just temporarily shuts them down of being rude.
But I don't think it will. Like, not a person like that.
I think it might.
Really?
Yeah,
have you
maybe.
ever witnessed that? Because I feel like I've never seen that happen. It always makes it worse.
I saw a clip once of a guy like yelling at some kids working behind the counter at a fast food place and being like really disrespectful. Then some other guy walks up and just like starts screaming at him to stop. And the guy does because he's terrified of the guy screaming at him. But the problem there is like now the screaming guy kind of looks like the insane person. You know what I mean? But like I'm telling you, some people
just need
go
to be
through
yelled
life.
At.
Yeah, some people just need to be screamed
Oh my
at.
God.
And
Yeah,
no
but-
one wants to do that.
Okay,
No
but
one wants to be that
They need
person.
to be yelled at by people whose opinions they value in their lives, not random strangers.
No, or someone they actually feel intimidated by. Because I think a lot of people are bullies.
So you wanna
that
bully
guy
them.
is yelling
Oh
at
my
some
God.
kid at a Wendy's just trying to get by, making minimum wage.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
But do you know what I mean? That person is taking out their frustration and being rude to
Yeah.
just like someone who they know isn't in a position to give them any pushback. So that if some person comes along who's like, hey, I'm a foot taller than you and I could slap you. You know, I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm saying that person will wilt with the presence of someone telling them to fuck off.
I don't think that's a guarantee.
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, but I think that's a risk. Because if they don't wilt and they're like, fuck you then, and then you've just made an actual fight happen.
Yeah.
Because they will get defensive. The type of behavior and the personality type of someone already screaming like that because they want their way is the type to get defensive.
But I think most of these people aren't going through life thinking they're actually going to get into fights. I think there are some people who are just looking for an excuse to get into physical altercations. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, especially at like 2 a.m. Outside of bars, downtown, wherever city you live. But like in a context where someone's just being like rude to someone at a coffee shop or a Wendy's in the middle of the afternoon, they're not looking to get into a fight. They're just like being a bully against someone who they know can't really give them much pushback.
Yeah, and I hear that, and that it's kind of unfair. It puts the employees
I'm saying
in an
I'm not
unfair
going
position.
around yelling at rude people in stores, by the way. But it's something I think about. Like, where is that
Yeah.
line where I should say something?
Yeah, it is kind of tricky, and you would hope that there's a manager or a supervisor or someone around who has training in that area who knows what to do and can help, and that's like part of their role with the employees. But that's not always available or possible. I don't know, Ben. These coffee shop things, though.
I gotta stop
You gotta
going to
stop going to the
coffee
coffee shop. There's so many icebreakers there.
All right, are we done?
Yes. I think you have officially broken the ice. We have had an hour-long worth of ice breaks. I hope you guys didn't learn anything from this.
Please take nothing away.
Please take nothing away. These
We're
are
still
terrible
recovering.
strategies. Yeah,
I still feel a little out of it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Someone
Well, you did 100 layers of nail polish.
Broke
You
my nail.
shaved my head. You broke your nail. We went to North Carolina. We met a few thousand people.
We launched.
We flew
Fire
back.
and Ice.
You had another launch as soon as you got back. We've had meetings.
Oh,
What is going on here?
what is going on?
I thought I
here?
was retired.
Lies.
What is going on?
Yeah,
I can't sleep. I just can't
me
sleep.
neither.
I never sleep.
It's a problem. When I was on stream yesterday, I didn't acknowledge this in the comments, but someone in the comments wrote, like, why does it look like you have black eyes? Or no, wait. They said, why does it look like you have one coat black on your eyes? Like the nail polish shade. And then I looked at, like, I saw the comment, and then I looked at the viewfinder of myself, and then I was like, kind of does look like, look like I have big black eyes. But I was just like, I don't want to acknowledge it, because then people are just going to say, she looks great, and then get mad at the chatter. And, like, I don't care that much. But like, I saw that, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm tired. Why do I look like this?
Sometimes the mean comments are right.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know what? Correct. So I'm not even going to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
All right, everyone.
Do you want to go have a nap?
Yeah, maybe. I hope you guys have a wonderful Taco Tuesday and rest of the week. And thanks so much for watching. We'll see y'all later. Bye.